Hey everyone, I'm Melina. Welcome back to my channel. So it has been a really long time since I recorded a video. I've wanted to record for a while, but it's just been a really long time and I kind of don't know where to start after I've been gone for a while. I have a lot of things I've been doing, a lot of knitting, just a lot. It's been a lot. So I thought I would jump on here, record a video, and just let you know where I've been, what I've been doing, show you some of my projects, and yeah. So this might be a little long video for me. I'm drinking throat tea because I think it's throat coat because my voice does not carry for a long time. All right, so last time, I'm pretty sure the last time I recorded was exactly 2 years ago. I know it was maybe in the fall, September, October, and I closed my business then. I was feeling very burnout, and instead of just scaling back, I really just needed a complete break for a number of reasons, but mostly because I was just very burnout. And for those of you who don't know me, I know I've shared some about my life, but I have 5 children. I'm married, so it's just a lot. Like, life is just a lot. However you make of it, that's a lot of people in your family. And then on top of that, I owned and dyed for Pineapple Yarn, which is just, it's my baby, it was my business, and I really enjoyed it so much. But I wanted to step back and focus on my family more, focus on my personal life more, just because that's something that is, it's a non-negotiable. That, of course, family comes first. So, yeah, so that's basically what I did. And then, of course I missed it so much, but I won't get into that yet. So around that time, and if you've been following me for a while, you will probably know some of this already. We live in basically a fixer-upper, and it was getting to the point where we really needed to make some big decisions about what we were doing with this house. So my husband and I are fairly handy people. We can do a lot ourselves, but we're talking like structural issues, plumbing, electrical, things like that really needed fixed. And I know some of you are totally gonna know what I'm talking about when I say that it was like the domino effect. So you know, we would have a window. All of our windows were old. They were single pane windows, and not old enough to be structurally, like, you know, they weren't 100 years old. They weren't like fixable. They were just a single pane old window that really didn't have a lot of value. So, you know, if we had a cracked window, we would want to replace it. We had extra windows in this house, but we couldn't fix it because there would be a wall around the window that we would open up because it was, there were some issues. We could tell there had been water damage in the past. And so we would open up the wall, and then we would also see you know, the outside studs, the exterior studs of the house that were completely rotted. And then we thought, well, all of this needs to be fixed, obviously. And this is the worst, some of the worst parts of the house. But as you open up a wall, then you think, well, maybe we should replace this electric back here too. So, so that's what we did. We moved out of the house and we did all of the work that is expensive and isn't pretty. So that's what we did with our house. And there is still a lot that needs to be done. But it's mostly cosmetics. So that's great. That's something we can definitely handle. But we'd waited a long time to do it and, you know, fix the things that we could, but it really needed we needed to dive in and just get it done. So it took, as these projects always do, they always take longer and are more expensive than you think they're going to be. And so all that is behind us now. We moved back into our house and we're just so incredibly grateful to be here and to have a house that is structurally sound and comfortable, and we're so happy about it. So all that to say is that when we were out of the house, there's no way I could have dyed yarn anyway, because I didn't have my supplies, I didn't have my dyeing things. And so but it was great because I had time to think about what was important and things that I really enjoyed, and I was able to just knit for fun. And I realized I really missed dyeing yarn. When I would look at my stash and I would pull out a skein of yarn that was mine, it was pineapple yarn, it made me so excited even before I mean, there were times where it wouldn't be labeled or something, and I would pull it out and get so excited because I loved the color. It was so beautiful. And then I realized it was one of my colorways. So I had time to think about if this is something I really wanted to do. And I'm still at that point. I'm still considering opening the shop back up. Anyway, so that's what is going on with me personally, and since I am back in the house, I feel like I'm back into the swing of things in my normal life, which is recording. So I decided to just get my phone out, no lights, no microphones, just in my chair, just record a video. I also have so many projects to show you. So I hope you are wanting to see some knitting, because I have some knitting and crocheting to show you. I don't even know where to begin. I guess I'll just go from the top here. I have some knitting right here next to me. I've just gathered, if you could see around me, I have baskets of knits around me. It's a little ridiculous. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this beautiful shawl that I knit with the 2023 Lofty Loops Advent Calendar. And this is the Euphorbia shawl by Ambah O'Brien, who I love her pattern so much, and she's so creative. But this was the Advent. It's just such a pretty shawl with this spine going down the middle. It's just, I love it. So it was just so fun. I really, really enjoyed knitting this. And it's just, I think, a beautiful long shawl. I really like the shape of it. It's so pretty. I think it's so wearable. It's not really my colors. I think I get washed out with pastels. A lot of these are pastels. And you probably noticed too that I have my natural hair color. So I have a lot of gray in my hair, as you can see. So yeah, so I feel like pastels maybe aren't my thing. So I'll probably gift this. But isn't this beautiful? I loved this advent calendar. It was so fun. It was so fun to open up. So that's the Euphorbia shawl. And then of course, as advent calendars have so much yarn and they're so versatile for many different projects. So I also knit 2 hipster hats with the leftovers. And the hipster hat is by Petite Knit. It is easily one of my favorite patterns, and I think these were maybe number 5 and 6 that I knit. I don't know where the rest are. I think I gave them away, but it's so stretchy and they roll up, they have a cuff, and so they fit so many different sizes. I just think these are so cute. So this one, I took all the speckled yarn out of the calendar and knit this one. And then I knit this one with more of the tonal yarns. I just thought these would be so cute for spring. You know, I think that we all, at least I do, I always think of, you know, winter and it's cold, and it's not though. It's really the spring when you want everything to warm up that gets really cold. So I thought this would be so cute for spring. So I will probably gift these as well. I just think they're adorable. And it's a lot of projects from one advent calendar. It was just, I thought it was so, so pretty. So then I had another advent calendar last year in 2023, and I think, you know what, I've got to check. I've been writing down every project in a notebook, which I'm so proud of myself. I've been pretty good about it. I have not been fabulous about it. If you remember, I don't ever keep notes on my projects, and I'm always so proud when I do. So let me see. Okay. I had to go through my entire notebook to figure out whose advent I knit this next project with. This is ridiculous. I'm so terrible at writing down my notes. Anyway, it's a work in progress. But this is the Sweet Shop blanket by Penrose, and this is one of the most satisfying projects I have ever knit. I love it. I love the way it looks. I wouldn't say it's the fastest project, but I love it so much, and my family fights over it because it's such a great blanket. And this is from the Cornbread and Honey 2023 Advent. I just think these colors are so beautiful, and that's one of the reasons why I bought this Advent, is because it may have been called like a boho Advent. I don't really remember now, but what I did is I tried to just, I don't know, kind of make a gradient type-ish design on this blanket. I don't know. But anyway, I love it. I think it's so pretty. And then I just paired the other half with an undyed yarn, which I think is from Knit Picks. I think it was, it's the 2-ply undyed DK weight yarn. And these minis were also in DK, which was great. I was able to order them in a DK. I want to say it's Hawthorne, but I'm not sure. Whatever the Knit Picks undyed 2-ply DK. And it was a nice yarn to knit with. I liked it. I don't know the needle size. I don't know. So it was probably about a US 5 or 6. I don't know. So I finished that maybe, gosh, it was probably very early this year. I cannot believe, like, this year has been so busy. There's just so much that has happened this year. So that is just a beautiful, so beautiful. I love it. So that was the Sweet Shop blanket, and I don't know if, did y'all see the her new pattern, Laura Penrose's new pattern? It's the Stella quilt, I think. I am so excited. I'm pretty sure I purchased it. It is so pretty, and I was following her as she was going through and designing it and knitting up the sample. And I just loved that she took yarn from her stash, and she purchased yarn too, but she took all of the shades of yellow and made one, you know, quilt block, and then she took all of the shades of pink and made a quilt block, and I loved it. It's so pretty. So anyway, that is probably going to happen someday. I will knit it someday. So the next thing that I knit and I think I did this last fall, I knit the, wow, I don't know what this is called. I think it's called the Simple Thing sweater. I'm gonna have to look. I don't know where I got that sweater name. I have no idea. Oh, I know what it is. I did knit a project called the Simple Thing. I knit 2 projects. It is a, I think, free shawl pattern. Love it. It is so good. It's one of those awesome patterns where you can take any, I mean, basically you could take any weight of yarn. Mine's a DK. You can take any weight yarn, any length of yarn. So your yardage, it's very flexible because you weigh it. And so you just weigh it. When you get halfway, you start your decreases again. That's what it is, the Simple Thing. So it's this shawl, and I knit one in black, and I knit the other in a really pretty undyed cream color. So as you can tell, you are knitting garter stitch back and forth, and you're doing increases. I don't even remember how many increases you're doing. And then when you hit this, you will hit your point. This was my halfway point when I was weighing it, and then I did the decreases. But this is so cute. These shawls are so cute. This one is the first one I knit, and I didn't bring it, but it's a project I did in the past 2 years. I made another Sunshine Coast sweater in this color. It's a black bamboo pop by Universal Yarns. And so if you've been following me for a while, you know that the Sunshine Coast sweater is one of my favorite patterns. It is so flattering, and it's a great sweater pattern. But I had some bamboo pop left over, and this yarn is so nice. It is great, and it makes just, it's a little splitty. I do have to say it's a little splitty, but it is cotton and bamboo, and so it is the best yarn for warm weather or transitional seasons. I mean, it's so good. You could probably wear it in the summer as well. So I knit this with the leftover, and I love it so much. It's it goes with everything, and if you have a, you know, something colorful and you want to make it serious, I suppose you could wear this. But anyway, I love this. This pattern is so cute. And then the next one I knit, so this is more one, I like wearing this in the fall and winter when it gets warm here. I'm on the South Carolina coast, and it is warm and humid most of the year. So this kind of accessory is perfect. But this one I knit from a yarn called Mini Alpakka, I think by Sandnes Garn, and it is extremely warm. It's so pretty. It's a little fuzzy, but it's not fluffy. It's not like a Surrey or a merino silk. It's super warm. And yeah, so it's kind of the same. It's just a really nice, a nice length. And if you want, I can tell you if I can find it. Well, I've looked and looked through this and I can't find it. So I think probably I started this notebook a year ago, and most likely I did not take notes on it. I probably knit it before a year ago. So I suppose you could just knit it the way you want it, the length you want it, and then you know, have a little bit of yarn left over if you bought some. I probably bought 2 skeins of this mini alpaca, is my guess. Maybe not, I don't remember. I shouldn't show things that I don't remember, but it has been a long time. So you will have to forgive me for not remembering all the details. But I do remember, this is what I was going to show you. This is a sweater I knit last year, and I've knit several other sweaters, but this is the one that I love so much. I wear it all the time. And it is, oh, I just love the color of it, and I love the shaping. So this is the No Frills sweater by Petite Knit, and it literally is no frills. I mean, it's just a basic top-down sweater. I've actually re-knit I think I've taken the neckline out and re-knit it tighter. I've taken the cuffs out, made them longer. I mean, I've really, I'm a project knitter, and so I like things done, and I like to just move on to the next shiny object. So for me to take a sweater apart and to redo it is, it's a big deal. I mean, it's a testament to how much I love this sweater, but it is just, it's so cozy. It is, I love it. I love the color. It's just, oh, I love this sweater. It's so cozy. So I am 100% going to make another one of these sweaters. Absolutely. I mean, it's just, I love it. So this is Hue Loco and in their tweed base, and it is, can't remember what color. I'm gonna look at my notebook. Oh, here it is, Caper Tweed. So this is their Caper color. Isn't that pretty though? It's almost a mustard color. I think it's so pretty. So anyway, I would love to knit this again this fall and winter in the same or like a similar yarn. One thing I love about this yarn is that it's superwash, and it's not as warm as a non-superwash because I need a non-superwash sweater for maybe a month out of the year. Does it get cold enough to wear it? And then it just is too warm. So I love this, I love making sweaters out of superwash. So anyway, I'm thinking of this, but like a rust color or beautiful, like a pumpkin color. I think it'd be so beautiful. So we'll see. I'd love to dye some up for myself, you know, with my own dye, my own equipment. Just not there yet, but maybe when I am, I'll dye up a sweater quantity for myself. But yeah, so this was probably my most used, most loved, besides this blanket in the past 2 years. Definitely, that's probably what I've gone to the most and used the most. The next object I brought with me is, I think I am the last person, the last knitter ever to knit a ranunculus. And so I've always wanted to knit one. Finally did it, and it turned out so cute. What a fun pattern. I can't believe it's taken me this long to knit it. And I absolutely love this. This is just so fun, and this is such a great garment. So this was a mystery skein, I think a set of 2 mystery skeins that I brought from Kristen of Wool and Vine Yarns, and it is this gorgeous single ply mix of merino and silk. It probably is like a merino nylon silk, I think. So I only did short rows in the back, as you can see here. I know that was one of the modifications I made. I can't remember what else. On the sleeves, I may have done a few rows, a couple rows here, and then just did a 3, I think this is maybe the bind off they call for in the pattern. I didn't modify it too much, but I know I did the short rows. So, and this was 1 skein of yarn. I still have maybe just a little bit, maybe about 10 grams of yarn left. Isn't that crazy? It's so pretty. So I like this during fall and spring. I just throw it over like the dress I have on now. I would put it over a style like that just to give it a little more warmth or whatever. But this is really cute, and obviously it's cropped, so it's just, I just love it so much. I would really like to knit another one, maybe someday. So that was a really fun knit. And also I like the hem too. It's that twisted rib hem. Isn't that pretty? It's just, this yarn is so nice. It's I can't even believe, I mean, this was a mystery skein, so I got it at a discount, and it's literally like the most beautiful base and has a beautiful drape. So I felt very fortunate to have purchased that. So anyway, that's a nice knit. And then I knit this. This was a very interesting project. This was a Petite Knit pattern, and I used a yarn from, I want to say it was Sandnes Garn, and it is it has a crease in it because I've had it folded, but it's a linen yarn. I'll open my notebook here. I'm pretty sure I took notes on this because I wanted this to turn out really well. And I feel like wool is so forgiving, so when you're blocking something like this, you can block it and everything turns out really nice. But this was kind of challenging with a linen yarn. Doesn't that look nice? Like, I think it just came out so pretty. All the edging, this was a really pretty garment. So let me look and see. I don't even remember what it was called. Of course, I literally grabbed some things, I sat down and hit record on my phone. I'm sure you can tell. I'm not prepared. Okay, well, you know, this will come as no surprise, but I took no notes on it. But I looked it up, and it is the Cloud Top by Petite Knit, and I'm pretty sure the yarn is Tin Line by Sandnes Garn, and I think it's a linen and cotton blend as far as I remember. It is it's a called for yarn in the pattern. Again, it's one of those that I really was trying to find yarns and patterns that fit my climate better. There's so many months out of the year I can't wear hand knits, but this one I can wear, even when it gets fairly warm, I can wear this. It looks nice, has a beautiful drape, so I really liked this. I'm not 100% thrilled about the color. I feel like the color, again, washes me out a little bit, but just those grays, anything that's a little like gray, has a gray undertone, doesn't look fabulous on me. It's fine, it's fine, I still wear it. But I think that I would love to knit this in something with a warmer tone. And yeah, so this was a great pattern, and I would love to try it in Bamboo Pop. I'm sure it is beautiful in that yarn, and I'm pretty sure it's the same gauge. It feels the same. So that is the knitting that I've completed. I knit so many other things though. Even just going through my notebook, I remembered I knit the terrazzo sweater by Petite Knit in a beautiful and olive green yarn, an olive green tweed yarn. I can't remember now. Held with a mohair silk strand. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I knit sweaters for my kids, of course, as I always do, and socks. So many pairs of socks. As a matter of fact, that is the first thing that I started when we got back into the house. So I didn't have my circular sock machine with me while we were out of the house temporarily, and I really missed it. I love my circular sock machine because I like to buy yarn and I like to use yarn. So one of the things I really wanted to do is use up some of my stash when I got back into the house. So I want to show you what my current project is. It's a lot. It's a lot. So what I did is I basically took all of my fall yarn, and I would say I probably had, of just autumnal colored yarn, maybe like 15 skeins of it. So I took 15 skeins of yarn, I caked them all, I cranked them all, and I'll put a picture up here of all the socks I've completed. So some of them have contrasting heels, some of them I've just done cuffs on. So what I did is I cranked all of this yarn on my Erlbacher Gearhart Speedster, which again, if you're a longtime viewer, you'll know that I really love this machine. I still have it, I still love it. These are all 60 stitch socks. So I finished maybe 7 pairs. I don't know, they're in that in that picture. And so in my knitting basket here, I have a huge long sock snake, if you will. It's kind of a sock snake. All of the yellow parts are the waste yarn, so they separate each yarn. But you can see I've got heels cranked on them, toes cranked, which are just heels. But I have so many socks. I think I'm about halfway done. How crazy is that? So this is my big pile of socks right now that I have in my basket. And I have 2 colors that I'm really loving doing the cuffs with. So I'm doing everything on my machine, and then I have to graft the toes, which is just, it's basically the Kitchener stitch on top of the toe. And then I like to hand knit a ribbed cuff. I just really like that. So I'm using this color, which is a really pretty, I don't know, it's like a mulberry color. This is a yarn I dyed. I don't know for what or when, I don't know what color it is. And then I have this beautiful yarn. This is a really beautiful yarn. And I think this is from Palmer Yarn Co. And it was a sock set they had last fall. And I caked it up to knit some socks, and I thought, I just want this on all the socks. I don't want one pair of socks that looks like this, because I think this is the most beautiful yarn. So I am currently on this pair of socks, and of course I'm right in the middle of this round, but I am just knitting up knit to, purl to, cuff. But I just think that looks so nice on this yarn. And this yarn was from Hue Loco. Last year it was one of their, I think one of their like one pot colorways. I can't remember what they call them, but they have a very like limited time colorway. And a couple of them last autumn, I loved the colors. So that's this one, and it has beautiful speckles that are this, this gorgeous kind of rust pumpkin color. It's so, so pretty. And then this cute, I love this stitch marker. This is from Blush Fiber Co. I think that's what the store name is. They're a store on Etsy, and their yarn shop is just so beautifully curated, and it's a really beautiful yarn shop. But I love this Progress Keeper. It's a stone, and it has this, I don't know, like a really pretty metal frame around it. I'm sure there's a technical name for it, but I don't know it. So anyway, I thought these turned out cool. Look at the heel on the sock. Is that neat? So what am I going to do with 15 pairs of autumn colored socks? I'll probably give some away, and I'll keep some too. So that's been really, really fun, and they are all kind of stuffed into this basket, and I have been using baskets all the time with my projects. I feel like they're so handy. I can see exactly what's in there. Sometimes, and this is just me, when I have a project bag, things tend to easily be tucked away and not worked on. So, and I think this basket's really pretty. I can set it out in my house, and I love it. So I think I've switched almost entirely to baskets for all of my knitting, but that's my socks, and I work on them all the time. So I have socks to wear for autumn. It's so fun. So those are the socks that I'm working on right now, and I wanted to get them done in September. That's not gonna happen. So I'll be knitting these into October. And then I also have in this little basket, so cute. I love this little basket for like a pair of socks. I actually have two pairs of socks in here, but I knit up a couple of, well, this one's a sock blank, and my daughter was just begging me to knit her a pair of leg warmers forever. So how fun is this? I think it was a random yarn in my stash, unlabeled of course, and I think this is Seagull Attack by Pineapple Yarn. I think that's so pretty though. So I plan on knitting her some leg warmers, and it's gonna be so easy. All I did is I cranked a tube on my circular sock machine, and then I will I picked all the stitches up. I'll knit a cuff here, and then I'll take 2 circular needles and pick up all the stitches on this side, and then all the stitches on this side, and of course, on the backs as well. And then I'll be able to just snip the thread and unravel it. I was thinking of, I have a couple friends who are knitters, and they don't know, I was trying to explain to them how to knit a sock from a sock tube, and how to pick up the stitches and split and everything, and it's hard to explain in words. So I've been thinking of maybe filming a video that shows this, because it's really simple once you get the hang of it, and it's such a fabulous way to use up an entire leftover skein of yarn without having any leftovers. So you could definitely knit a sock from this, but I am going to do some leg warmers for my daughter. So that will be really fun. And I was thinking for the contrast, this really pretty saturated color. Again, this was a color in my shop. I don't remember what the name was. So that will be really fun. And then the other project that I have in this basket is a cake. And I remember this is Princess, because this was the, I dyed a lot of this color. This is such a favorite, and it's such a pretty neon pink color. But I found a skein of, gosh, what was this called? Endless, it was either Endless Summer. Yeah, I think this is Endless Summer, this colorway, which I'm kind of obsessed with. It's one of my first colorways, and I think it is so pretty. But I knit on my sock machine. I knit a pair of socks with this, and I think I might use this in a video as well. So, and pair it with Princess. I think those two look really good together. And of course the yellow won't be on anymore. Is that pretty? I think that's so pretty. So that's why these two projects are kind of by themselves in this basket. Well, they're not autumnal yarn. All of my autumnal yarn's in my other basket, but I was thinking of doing a video with these yarns. So that is maybe down the road. I'll do that. Okay, so I think I'm going to move on to my large projects. A sweater is a large project, but these are like big projects. These are my blankets. So let me rearrange some things here. Take a sip of tea. All right, the first project that I have is something I worked on a long time. I had no idea where it was, and then I found it. And the reason I couldn't find it is because it was in a project bag. So I got a big basket for it. So this looks really big. It's a pretty big basket. And I put my blanket in here. I have no idea when it's going to be done, but this is the blanket. Maybe some of you will remember if you've been following me for a while. This blanket was my blanket I was knitting with my mini skein club, my pineapple yarn mini skein club. So as you can see, I still have mini skeins in here. This one's from September of 2022, so a year or 2 years ago, which is crazy. And I don't know how many months are in here. I have no idea actually. But this is where I started. I started with this pretty lime green color. I think that was glowworm in my shop. And this is how much I have. So what I was doing is I was using this really, really wide blanket. And I don't have a whole lot crocheted on it, but I think I was doing one mini skein across and back, which would make sense, like with this color right here. And so each month there were 3 minis, if I remember, 3 minis in each club. And so, you know, it takes a while if you're getting 3, only 3 a month, I guess. And I wasn't putting any other yarn in here. But I really like this blanket. I was so happy to have found it. I was so happy. And took it out of its project bag and put it into a basket. So yeah, what my plan is for this, obviously I have some minis I can use. And then I also want to add some more minis. So this is a DK weight, and I figure I can go through, I have so much yarn, so much yarn, so much in my stash. And so I figured with this, I could just go through all of my DK weight yarn and maybe knit a row across and back, and then use the rest for another project or put it back in my stash, whatever. So anyway, was really excited about that. I do have a crocheted blanket, and many of you may remember it was from several years ago, and I used all of my warm colors, so like my oranges and coral and yellow, and I knit it or crocheted it all into a granny square, like a giant granny square. And I love it so much. We all still really love that blanket. It is so, so warm and comfortable. So this will be nice to add to the blankets someday. I won't, I'm not going to rush it, and it'll just be there when I want to add some rows. But I have this little box I pulled out are all of my stitch markers, some really cute ones. These are my autumnal ones over here. I really should get some of these out and use them. But some little light bulb markers. I tend to be monogamous in my knitting projects and then also with my stitch markers. So right now I'm using that stitch marker from Blush Fiber Co. and I really like it. And then I'll switch it out and I'll use the next one for several months, I'm sure. And then this, you saw me take out this little project bag. This is just a basic project bag, but I keep all of my stitch markers, my pattern, and even my knitting needle for the Hipster Hat. I think I mentioned before the one that I made with, or I made two with the Lofty Loops advent calendar from last year, the leftovers, and those were number 5 and 6, maybe for, I don't know, maybe in 2, maybe that was for just last year or 2 years. I've knit a lot of them. So I like to keep a little bag with all of the things, the tools and everything in them. I guess because I don't have a little basket for it, but that's okay. So let me get down here and get my next basket. Oh, this one is really heavy. I have so much in here. So much in here. This is my big project that I have been working on for a while. Here's another Hipster Hat that I knit. This was, oh, I love this color. Isn't this a great color? I actually have the yarn in here. I want to knit it a little longer. This is Double Sunday by Sandnes Garn, and it's the Petite Knit color. I don't know what color it is, but here's the band. And the colorway is right there. It might help. But it is this beautiful like tomato red color, which is my favorite. I love tomato red. So I want to, it's definitely not cold enough here to wear hats yet. And it won't be for a while, but I want to just take out the stitches. I think these stitches are just grafted together on the top, but I want to take them out and knit this longer because I have just a little yarn left and I would like it taller, I think. I might get to it and I might not, I don't know. But I said it here just in case I got the urge to do that. But like I said with this sweater, I rarely go back and fix projects unless it's something that really, really needs to be fixed. So this is what is in this basket. This is my granny square blanket. It is made with, oh gosh, I'm trying to think what yarns I have used in this. I subscribed to the row 1 mini skeins for a while. I can't remember how many months. So a lot of these are row 1. This is a whole collection of Hue Loco mini skein sets that I caked up, and so they're all ready to be put in to this. And I just love some of these colors. Like these two are so pretty. This one, I love this like ultraviolet blue color. It's so pretty. So those will be really pretty to put into this blanket. And basically all I'm doing is, it uses, I think, 10 grams per square, the colored part of the square. So what I do is I crochet 10 grams, and then if I can get 2 squares out of 20, that's great. If not, that's okay too. And then what I do is I am doing the join as you go method. So I just take an undyed yarn, which is a DK weight. That's what it is. I'm doubling a fingering weight to get a DK on a lot of these squares. So this one is just a pure DK, undyed merino wool. It might be from Knit Picks, probably like their swish DK. So this is really large. I am going to show you how big this is. So that is all of it. Isn't that crazy? That is a really big blanket. It's so nice. And I have actually woven in a lot of the ends on the back already. Yay me. So that has been really fun, and I've just been taking what I get and going with it. But I also have a lot of other pieces to put in. So these are some mini skeins from the Homespun House Patreon tier where you get mini skeins, and these are all 10 grams. So I'm thinking that I've also used these in this blanket. So I'm thinking each square takes 10 grams, held double. And yeah, because I have some little DK weight cakes, and that's tiny, so that's gotta be 10 grams. And I have in here, I have some other squares that are already done. So this is kind of my method, is I cake up yarn, a lot of yarn, and I just crochet squares, lots and lots of squares. And then what I do, then these could be, I know I started putting in like my own my leftovers from my other projects into it. So then I crochet a whole bunch and I kind of figure out where I want the colors. So I'm doing a little bit of color management, not a ton, but a little bit. And then I just join them with the undyed yarn. And I am using, I also have my crochet hook in here. I'm using a G 4.5 millimeter, just the clover hooks that I've had forever. These are very old. These are probably almost 20 years old, which is crazy, but they've worked great. So I have lots of yarn to go on this, and that's even without DK, going through my DK stash. And then what I have in here, I do have a little project bag in here, and I have this project bag specifically for my magic knot balls. And so what my whole process is, I will do the squares. And so these are squares from my projects. This is the one from my cloud top that I just showed you. This is a homespun house. This is a beautiful colorway. And I knit a pair of socks for my daughter with that. Really, really pretty. This is bamboo pop, so that's that black that I knit the Simple Thing shawl with. And anyway, so once I have a leftover, like a little tiny leftover of that, I have some other little leftovers, because when you get mini skeins, a lot of times they just the mill overweighs it, so you'll get a couple of grams extra on each one. Same with full skeins of yarn. But I am winding it up into a magic knot ball. So I've got this one. This was an advent that it was called the Dressmaker Advent. It was absolutely beautiful, and I crocheted a beautiful blanket with it, but I didn't bring it with me, so I can't remember where it is actually. I'll bring it at some point. Here's another one, another magic knot ball. And what I do with mine, I don't know if this is completely necessary, but once I tie the magic knot, if you're unfamiliar, just look it up on YouTube, you'll find some more information. I'm actually using this glue, this liquid stitch glue, I just put a little dot on it and just rub it into the knot just in case. I don't know if it's really necessary. I haven't made anything with a magic knot ball. I would love to hear if you have, because I feel like I just make them and then I never knit or crochet with them, which is really funny. So here's a DK weight magic knot ball. This is a fingering weight magic knot ball. These are probably about like getting up to 200 grams. And then, like I said, I have one specifically just for the Dressmaker Advent, and it says that it's 76 grams and it's a fade. So that would be beautiful, maybe paired with another color. And so I put all the leftovers into my magic knot ball. So then I don't have any random little tiny balls of yarn in my stash. It's just easier yarn management for me, and I'm using every scrap, which is super cool. So that is this blanket, this granny square blanket. I really like this one. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Really like this one down here. Kind of an olive, like a kind of a bright olive color, so pretty. So that's an ongoing project. It will go on for a long time, as probably until it gets just obnoxiously large, but it will get, I will continue to crochet with it, and yeah, so it's been really fun. I have never been the kind of person who likes long-term projects. I don't like long-term projects. I like to finish things, but this has been really, really fun. So I haven't worked on it in a while, probably several months. When we moved back into this house, obviously there's the moving, which takes a long time and is a lot of work. And then there was we had to do more work when we got back into the house. There still is in the future. There was, and there still is, a lot of cosmetics that need to be worked on. But isn't that just, you live in a house, you always have work to do, right? So this house is old, it's not perfect by any stretch, and so it'll just be there whenever I have time to touch up paint and yeah, all of those things. So I think that is basically all I've been working on. I've done very little spinning, so there's that. Done very little spinning. I have not done any weaving because I didn't have my loom with me. So I put it away. I just didn't have the room for it. Now I do have it warped up. I have a warp. I put the warp on, and it is, I'm looking at it over here. It is warped up with my pineapple yarn 2019 advent, I think 2019. And it's like, it's just so beautiful. I may have shown pictures of it on my very last episodes, so my most recent episodes on this channel. It's so pretty though, so I will keep you updated when I start to work on that. Otherwise, that's it. This has been a really long video. Usually my videos are not this long at all, but I just had a lot to say, a lot to show, and yeah. So I'm still up in the air as far as the shop goes. I'm leaning toward doing something with the shop. I'd really love to, because it was something that I really enjoyed, and I felt like a lot of you enjoyed as well. So yeah, I will let you know if that happens. And other than that, I will probably be uploading videos with some sock tube knitting, ribbing, grafting toes. I'll get that recorded here in the next couple of weeks. But I hope you're enjoying your autumn wherever you are, and enjoying projects and knitting, crocheting, weaving, whatever you enjoy doing this time of year. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.